We're now going to use our ideas about similar gradients to check whether 3 points are collinear. Now what we have to think about here is if I have a point A and a point B and join them up with a straight line, point C here not collinear. That means all 3 points are not in a straight line if the line doesn't continue straight. It's made up of actually 2 different lines here. So looking at this, A to B has got a different gradient from B to C. B to C is obviously shallower in my picture. Now if we take A, B and C and can demonstrate that they're all in one straight line, then that's obviously collinear. So what we have to prove is the section A to B has exactly the same gradient as B to C. Because if it does, that means going from A to B, it will then follow on in a straight line from B to C, because B is connected to A and B is also connected to C. And so the only way that that can happen is if they are in a straight line. So the gradients are the same and going through all 3 points. So that's what we're about to prove. So we have the points A is -2, -5, B is 2, 7 and C is 5, 16. I'm going to show that these are collinear. So first of all, I'm just going to find the gradient of between A and B. So I'm going to suggest I take 7 minus 5 divided by 2 take minus 2, which is 12 over 4, which gives me the first gradient is 3. Now I'm now going to do the same for B to C. So my second gradient, joining B to C, is 16 minus 7 divided by 5 minus 2, which gives me 9 divided by 3, which tells me that M2 is a gradient of 3 as well. So M1 and M2 are both the same gradient of 3. The first section has B on it, and the second section also has B on it, so that must mean we're at point B. The gradient from B to C and from B to A, these have the same gradients, hence the 3 points A, B and C are collinear. So here's your one to try. You have 3 points, -6, -8, 4, -3 and 10, 0. Your task is to prove that all 3 of these points are collinear. Press pause and have a go. So let's try this one. M1, first gradient, -3 minus -8 over 4 minus -6, which gives me a gradient of -3 plus 8 is +5, and 4 minus -6 is 10, giving a gradient, the first one, of 5/10, which is a half. Between B and C, so we're going to call it M2, we have 0 minus -3 over 10 minus 4, which gives us 3 over 6, which gives us an M2 of a half. 2 are both the same gradient. There's point B, the gradient from B to C and back to A is the same gradient, hence A, B and C are collinear.